Welcome to another video of inspiration and impact. We are interviewing superstars, the people that we believe are committed to their growth, committed to, their impact and making a positive impact into this world, their family, their audience, their immediate and close family, and their vision. Okay. So I'm here to share with you a really, really awesome interview with Dr. Phillip Foster, the owner. He is the founder and owner of Maximum Change. Like, he's been at this for a long, long time. He has a PhD in this particular field, from not only working in corporate America to then starting his own business and selling his own business, and now starting a group mentoring program that allows people to not only scale their business and learn specifics in entrepreneurship and just be able to see things in a greater way. Dr. Phillip Foster has it all. And most importantly, he's been doing the work. He shows up every single day. He's practicing. And most importantly, he's getting results for his awesome clients. So we absolutely love that. And he's a really cool guy. So what I want you to do right now is not only like and share this particular video, but most importantly, I want you to go follow Dr. Phillip Foster at Maximum Change. He's on Facebook. That's his primary spot. He absolutely loves the platform. Also, he's on Instagram. He's on TikTok. Make sure to check him out. He has an awesome website where you can actually check out even more in-depth articles and more in-depth information on what you're looking to accomplish. And don't hesitate to reach out because he's awesome. So see you in the video. I promise you it's going to be really, really fun. Talk to you soon. Hello, beautiful people. Happy to have you here today. We have an amazing, amazing person, and his name is Dr. Phillip Foster. Dr. Phillip is amazing. He has not only shined his amazing grace upon our entire business over the years, but he's been so supportive in so many different ways. He is the founder of Maximum Change Coaching and Consulting with the expertise in entrepreneurship, startup, side hustles, leadership, and business strategy. So not only is he an amazing, successful entrepreneur with a lot to help you with in your entrepreneur journey, but he also loves some bourbon. So any bourbon lovers out there, make sure to hit like, make sure to go check him out on his Instagram. He's an amazing, amazing person. And we're here to dig deep.
Might even slip a cigar in with that bourbon.
Yes, indeed.
It is awesome. So great to be here. I've known you guys since, oh my gosh, almost the beginning of Ivy League. So LEADZ, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 5 years. 5 years.
Time just.
Believe that?
No, I can't actually. That's amazing.
Yeah. And
first met you guys on Instagram, of all places.
Yes. And what's really powerful is, have we ever met each other in the physical?
We haven't, but the interesting backstory to that is, I grew up in South Florida, and I know that you guys have connections in South Florida. So we probably were close by and didn't even know it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, whenever we get back to Florida, I hope we see you or we can set something up.
But no, we've never met in person. That's the amazing thing. 5 years, and we've met several times via video meeting, but never in person. We'll have to make a change to that someday.
Absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing about social media and just being in the game, right? We're celebrating the OGs, as we like to call them, because for us, it's like we meet a lot of coaches that they just got certified. They create an Instagram or a LinkedIn, and then they expect results like by yesterday. And then they're like, where are my millions? I mean, I'm doing the work, so what we love to celebrate is the people that have been showing up consistently, authentically, and staying true to their message. So you represent that, Dr. Phillip Foster.
Thank you for the recognition.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. How did you get into your coaching journey? Like, what were you actually doing before coaching? Let's start there.
Well, I won't give all the gory details, but I started out my career in corporate America. But if I go even further back from, to when I was an adolescent, I had something deep within me that just was screaming entrepreneur. No one in my family was really a successful business person. I mean, so I didn't really know what that was, but something was in me that was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. So anyhow, I went to get a bachelor's degree in business, ended up out in the business world, basically found what a lot of people will find is that working sucks. Not that good work, not that something worthwhile sucks. It's that going to a job was just terrible for me. And in 2000, I started my first business. I'd never owned a business before. It took it successful. We were in, Entrepreneur Magazine, and our products were on QVC. I mean, we were all over the place.
Wow.
And you have to understand, this is before Facebook really took off. I mean, Facebook was there, but we didn't have Instagram, and we didn't have Snapchat, and we didn't have, all the others. So we were doing this, building a business really in the Wild West of online. Anyhow, we ended up selling that business about 4 years in, and I went and got a master's degree in coaching and mentoring, and in 2005 started Maximum Change. Wow. So really what brought me to that point of wanting to coach and mentor was realizing when I built a business on my own, not knowing what I was doing, I wish that I had had someone to come alongside me and say, okay, just because you have a business degree doesn't mean you know what you're doing. And so I really started Maximum Change as a life coach. And what I kept finding was more and more and more times people were asking me, how do you start a business? How do you run a business? How do you do this in your business? How do you grow? How do you scale? And they were asking all these questions. And I'm like, gee, if people are coming to you and asking these type of questions, maybe you're good at that. Yeah. And so I started really on that journey of consulting, and I've been all over the world, speaking and consulting with businesses of all sizes. I led a entrepreneur workshop in Bogota, Colombia, and I've done a workshop down in Panama City, Panama, and I've just done those type of things. And it's not all about making money when it comes to those things, because I went out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And really taught people that were trying to get off the farms and start something, helping them to get that entrepreneurial mind in play.
That's beautiful. And I mean, did you have to be certified to actually go and start this journey? Or? Well,
I come from this weird place in this discussion of certification. I think this certification is a really good thing, because I think learning a craft and saying, hey, I know how to do this is a good thing. What I don't like about the conversation of certified is that it doesn't really say whether or not you're going to be a good coach. Just because you're certified just means you have book knowledge. Wow. And so to answer your question, I have a master's degree in coaching and mentoring. To me, that trumps any type of organizational certification that's out there, because I literally learned how to be a master coach. And so I don't want to say that the certification is a bad thing. I just think that we have to be careful in that conversation of certification, because you could be a great human being and have compassion and empathy and be able to connect with someone as a coach and never had a moment of coaching experience. Does that disqualify you as a coach?
Wow. Yeah.
And then I would say one other thing. I have been doing this since 2005, been coaching. No, I would say no one has ever asked me what my certification is.
Wow. That's awesome.
And if they did, it was, well, have a, I have a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree, and I have a doctorate, and I have a PhD in the hard knocks of life, and hard knocks of business. So that's my certification. Do I ascribe to being certified? Am I certified? No, I'm not.
That's awesome.
That was a long answer, I know.
No, and I think it deserves an opportunity to be shared, because so many people get limited to like, oh, I can't even start something. I have to get this first. And like just the simple fact of you going out there and putting yourself out there and then stacking up not only through education, but through life experience is what gives you the confidence to show up on a daily basis for your audience.
I would say it this way. Most of the time, like let's say that you had an illness and your friend said, hey, it sounds like you have what my cousin had. I think you should go see this doctor. Well, I'm not going to, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm weird. I'm not going to spend hours researching what this doctor's credentials are, where they went to school. I'm going to go see the doctor. And I think a lot of times when people need a coach, first of all, they're looking for a coach in a specific area. I don't think the first thing that they're asking is, do you have certification? I think what they're more worried about is, can you help me?
Yeah.
So
Indeed. And that well put. Well put. So, I mean, you have an amazing program where people can actually come together and get your mentorship. How did that start? I know that you've been all over the world and you're teaching in different levels of entrepreneurship, so how did this group mentoring program actually come about and what inspired it?
Well, the short of it is there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
And what I discovered is that I would have maybe 20 clients a week. And that's all I could handle, because when you're doing really hardcore coaching, where you're dealing with people's problems and challenges and helping them strategically come up with ideas and solutions and direction, it's very tiring. And so really 20, 25 clients a week is a lot when you're doing that. And what I found is I hit a saturation point on earnings. And so I started looking at what other coaches that I kind of look up to were doing. And I found that, the most ideal thing was group mentoring, group coaching. And so I've started more of a mastermind type setting. And that has been better for everyone, because you have the energy of the group working together, cheering each other on, being able to come and ask questions or sit at my feet while I'm teaching something, and really, trying to take it from the standpoint of, let me show you what they don't teach you in business school. Let me show you what they don't teach you about going into business. And, in full disclosure, I do teach master's and doctoral students at universities still. And I know exactly what they teach and don't teach.
Yeah.
And so, and that goes from the undergraduate all the way to the terminal degree. I know what they're teaching and not teaching.
Yeah, that's strong. And having access to that is vital, to your success, and being able to fast track it. That's beautiful. I'm sure you have a lot of, success stories. I mean, you've been at it since 2005. That's over a decade and a half, right?
It's been quite some time. I think 16 years, 17.
Amazing.
I've lost track of how many. It's been a few years now.
That's beautiful. Typically businesses don't last past the 30-year mark.
17 years. We're going on 17 years.
Look at that. 7 + 1 is 8. So to infinity and beyond, Dr. Phillip. So
absolutely.
Tell us like one of your favorite hell to heaven moments in your career. I mean, you have a lot, but one that really stands out, that you're like, what? Every time that I remember this moment, it fills up my cup.
Because I had the benefit of you giving me the questions to pre-screen before this, I really stopped at this one and thought about it, because I think that really my heaven to hell story is one that's still being written.
Wow.
I don't think that I mean, I've had some things happen in my life and some challenges. I mean, I started my coaching practice in 2005 and I was divorced in 2007. So, you go through a lot of emotional stuff with that. But I think my heaven to hell story is really about a kid who was told, you're probably not going to amount to anything. Telling my parents, fifth grader, by the way, hey, you'll be lucky if your kid finishes high school, much less goes to college. Start prepping him for, auto mechanic school or construction trade or some menial labor is basically what the teacher was saying. And so I went through a long period of my life where, I was struggling with self-worth, as a kid about, I'm not going to amount to anything. And so part of that was what really grabbed a hold of that entrepreneurial spirit in me was, nobody can tell me what I'm going to be.
Mm.
And so I think that because of this hell story kind of moving into heaven story, if you will, is really defining on the type of coach that I am. I may be poignant, I may be to the point about something, but it's said with the grace and power of someone who has been told you're not going to amount to anything in life. And, to have a teacher in fifth grade tell you or tell your parents, and by the way, this conversation was about my parents holding me back in fifth grade. That was how this whole conversation got going. And so anyhow, I repeated fifth grade and I graduated high school when I was 19. I graduated with honors in 3 subjects from high school. Was it easy? No, I was a C student otherwise. I just barely got into college, went to the University of Tampa in Florida, studied business with an emphasis in human resources, and I was still a C student. But I finished college and I went out into the work world and started, learning about the world. And then in 2005, I earned my master's. And in 2013, I have a doctorate.
Wow.
And I've written 5 books. So my heaven and hell story is still being written. Oh, and by the way, 3 years ago, I had a doctor say, oh, guess what? You have ADHD and you've had it all your life. So I did all of that on the backdrop of ADHD, not medicated, not managed, not diagnosed. So yeah, that's my story. That's my awesome. My hell to heaven story, or it's still being written.
Indeed. Wow. I mean, that's beautiful. And the way that you position yourself as like, I was just a little boy and, the outside forces were putting me down, but I had to find a way to get out of that.
And I would say this, I don't know who's listening to this video or the audio of the video, but if someone has ever told you, you don't amount to anything, you don't matter, you're just insignificant. First of all, it's a lie from the pit of hell. And, your purpose in life has got to be, that has got to be the catalyst for your purpose in life, that you are going to launch into something because people said you couldn't.
Strong. Wow. I got chills. That's beautiful.
They just get an insight of how I coach now.
Yeah, that's really, really powerful. I mean, where do you see yourself in like 1 to 2, 3 years from now? 2025, where do you see yourself by 2025?
What I imagine, and this could be a hour-long conversation unto itself, but what I imagine is having built out or continuing to build out and continuing to improve my platform, where I'm teaching how to start and how to run a business, how to scale a business. I'm doing that. I have a learning platform on my website, And what I'm hoping to do is continue to build the mentoring model that I've been building. And really, I have this imagination by the year 2025 to 2030 that we're going to see higher education tilt. It's going to be in a totally different view of things. I really think that higher education is on its last leg. And I think we're going to see massive changes in the way people learn. And that's why I want to be there, ready for people who want to be a part of the gig economy or the service economy or whatever you want to call the economy into the future. I want to be there as a support system to say, look, I've started businesses, I've failed, I've succeeded, and just, help them.
Wow.
That's where I see myself in the future.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. It's definitely on its last leg. So,
and that's coming from someone who is on the inside saying that.
Yeah, exactly. And, one of the cool things that we absolutely love about coaching and the ability to build this type of business is the fact that you're pretty much location independent, right?
That's right.
So how does that feel, going from corporate to now being completely free and traveling the world?
Yeah, so I have worked from home since roughly 2005. My last job in the corporate world, I was basically a chief financial officer for a media consulting firm out of Nashville. And I worked with communicators that were in radio and print. And before that, I ran a film studio that did live television, and they had, studios, Studio A, Studio B. I did all that, and that was the last time I was actually an employee. Working from home has been fantastic, and as technology has come on into play, like Zoom, like we're using right now, Facebook Live, other things. I mean, I have a studio in my home where I used to manage a 40,000 square foot studio with live television and celebrities coming in the door. Now I do this from home anywhere in the world. And yes, I've traveled. I've been to, Saudi Arabia. I've been to South America, Central America. I've been to Europe. I've been to Canada, all over the place. But the best part is I have worked from the beach. I have worked from, an airplane at 40,000 feet in the air. This is the technology we have today. There's absolutely no reason why someone can't be successful in coaching or any other type of service, where they're helping someone.
That's so true. That is something that we believe in 100%, especially having to see different cultures. When you do travel, you see even more opportunity. You're even more grateful for what you have and what you're building. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have. So what are some of the places that you're planning to go this year?
Well, we've been sticking pretty close to home because technology just opens the field wide open, and I don't even have to get on an airplane if I don't have to. I will actually be working from Hilton Head here in June. I'm going to be at the beach for a week, just working from the beach. Wow. So that's going to be fun, but I'm still going to do some work. As far as travel, I don't even have to do it anymore. Nice. I do it all from here. I've got a studio microphone and high definition camera and lights, and I almost don't have to go anywhere anymore.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's a really great way that you actually stay focused in business and in life? Like, I know that a lot of people have a lot of distractions, maybe working from home, maybe they have their families, maybe they have something going on, but what is one thing that you can help or that you can shine light on that will help others stay focused?
Well, and you add to that layer that I have ADHD, so the focus is always a fun thing. Aside from what I do to manage my ADHD, what I do really to get in, you have to be in a headspace for running a business. It doesn't matter what that business is, but you have to have a headspace for it. And what I mean by that is pay attention to what you're putting into your head. I'm a news junkie. I like news. I like history. And I'm also kind of a closet American Idol, voice fan,
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I have my hobbies, right? But in all honesty, it's I don't know. I think I forgot what you asked me. Oh, how do I stay focused? See, I've lost my focus. So what I was going to say is be careful what you put in your brain. Like I'm a news junkie and I'm a history junkie. So I can like binge on news or, something on the History Channel. What I've had to do was anything that's unproductive on this thing, my phone, I've had to take it off because if not, I'm sitting there for hours at a time, scrolling through stuff that's distracting me. The other thing that I've done that's been really helpful over the years, and I've gotten back into it, is January of this year, I decided I need to get my backside back in the gym. And I've really been working out hard. Since January, I've maybe missed 2 weeks total, which is pretty good.
Wow.
And I've lost weight and I'm feeling good. And I think the most important thing about workout, I do it first thing in the morning because that works for me. But what happens is I put in a podcast of someone that, and I've actually done some of the readings that you've been doing, listening to them, on YouTube. But that's what I do when I'm working out, because I started out that process listening to like really, rock and roll music or something to get me pumped while I'm working out.
Yeah.
And finally, one day I was doing crunches. I mean, not crunches, squats.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I listening to this crap? I need to be going to, University Foster. I need to be putting stuff into my head. So I started doing that. And what's happened is that my level of creativity has increased because I'm feeding my brain with nourishment. And there are times where I'm in the gym where I have to literally stop, and I use an app where I capture notes, and I'm either talking into it or I'm feverishly typing an idea. And so my 1 hour workouts usually take about an hour and a half now. But my point is, it's about putting good stuff in your brain, and feeding it all the time.
That's awesome. It's like literally watering your seeds.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. So one of the questions that we always ask, and something that we really, really believe in, is our core. It's like, this is the reason why we do what we do, and it's freedom.
Absolutely.
Okay? So I want to ask you, Dr. Phillip Foster, what does freedom mean to you?
Freedom means to me that you can go, you can do, you can be or not be, you can help, you can learn, you can grow, you can, freedom is you can be whatever it is you place your imagination in and you work hard for. Freedom to me is the decision to make. Do I want to spend a month at the beach with my family? And yeah, I'll work a little bit. Or do I want to spend, an hour a day just in one way, maybe 2 hours a day in my car commuting to a job I hate where no one appreciates me? Freedom to me is being able to realize my true potential and my true destiny. That's freedom.
Wow.
And you notice I didn't say anything about going out and buying a nice car or a house or having a private jet. All those things are great, but that's not freedom to me. Freedom is what I do that affords me the ability to buy the car I want or the house I want or travel the way I want. Wow. That's not freedom. That's the byproduct of freedom.
Wow. That's strong. That's strong. I haven't heard that one. I absolutely love that. And, I'm so excited to not only share your voice and you to our audience, but most importantly, like where do you want to drive people to? Where can people get to know you more? Where are you most active? Is it on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, social media? Where are you at?
So you can find me the most on Facebook. I have a Facebook group there. It's facebook.com/maximum change. And you'll find that I do live Facebook lives there, but I also post on a regular basis podcasts that I'm doing. So I always will put my podcast there. Second most active place that I'm at, and in full disclosure, I'm getting better at it, is Instagram.
Yeah.
And that, it's instagram.com/maximum change, all one word, maximum change. Or you can go to my website, maximumchange.com, and all of my social links are there. But I really hang out the most on Facebook.
Nice. And I absolutely love your name. It's so direct and so intentional.
And I do have TikTok and all those other things. I may be OG, but I still have those things.
The true OGs open up new accounts.
That's right.
So, that's awesome. Well, Dr. Phillip Foster, it's been a pleasure. I'm so excited to share, you to the world. And most importantly, just keep on shining, because we absolutely love your shine.
Awesome. So, well, and I love following you guys. It's just so great to watch how you guys have just evolved. And I'm so impressed with what you two are doing there at Ivy LEADZ. So just keep it up.
Thank you. And we shall celebrate soon in South Florida, sunny South Florida.
Sounds good. Get me a mojito and some Cuban food and I'll be happy.
You got it. I know exactly where to go too.
Give me some café con leche.
Amen. Awesome. All righty. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.